who is the Director of Programs here at GEM.
Hello, welcome to the Editors Lab final. The Editors Lab program, it's a worldwide series of journalism hackathon. And at the end of each hackathon, we award a winner. And the winner is invited to Vienna to compete in what we're calling very humbly the World Cup of Newsroom Innovation. Between us, we're calling it the Gen Woodstock for Geeks, or maybe a nerdier version of the United Nations. During the last 2 days, we had 16 teams from 14 different countries creating, over laptops and beers, creating new innovative journalism prototypes. They had a topic, and the topic was keep it simple, stupid. The idea was that we have a huge supply of news. We have news that are bombarding us like 18 hours a day on so many different platforms. And we have a news ecosystem that sometimes puts the emphasis on speed rather than on clarity. And it means that we have like users that are finding it very difficult to follow complex stories that are unfolding during periods of months like Brexit, Panama Papers, for example. So the challenge for us, the challenge is that these readers, they can lose track and therefore lose interest, and they will succumb to information overload. And the challenge was, how can we make reporting on this complex story, how can we make this reporting more understandable and more compelling? It's really like a back to basics theme, like it's a back to basic topic. We were not expecting, shiny gadgets. We wanted our competitors to come back to the core mission of journalism. We had a great jury to help us evaluate those prototypes. We will come to that after. We had a great jury. So we had Dan Gilmer, is a professor at the Arizona State University and is a writer. And we have Marc Cabra. She is the editor of the Data and Research Unit at ICIG. She worked on the Panama Papers, for example. We had Irshad Daftari. He is a Google Fellow at ICFG. And last but not least, we have Mandy Jenkins. She's the head of news at Storyful. So I told you we had 16 teams, and we picked the 3 best for you. The 3 best are National Geographic from USA, La Stampa from Italy, and BBC from the UK. We're going to start by National Geographic.
Everyone hear me? Okay, great. All right, my name is Scott Burkhardt, and this is CY Park. We're also joined by another teammate, Michael Greshko, and we are going to present to you Zoomin, a process of adding context to hub pages that usually present news in reverse chronological order. So at National Geographic, this is our hub page on a mobile phone, and it doesn't add too much context to, a large topic like climate change. It gives you a header that's usually truncated and a deck that is also truncated. So with that, we decided to create a prototype called Zoomin. Zoomin would start with the most basic amount of information possible for you to understand the actual topic. Say, for instance, climate change, it's real, it's happening, we're responsible for it. As you zoom in, if you want to know more, you would get slightly more information about the topic. The world is getting warmer, and these are the reasons why, and this is why we're sure. If you want to zoom in more, and actually see different articles that we've created about these topics, you zoom in a little further. At this point, you start to see some of the photography and some of the stories that we've written about these topics in bullet forms and links to the actual stories themselves. But at this level, you still understand the breadth of the actual topic. So let's zoom into the final slide. This is a little more in-depth, a few more bullet points, a few more of our world-famous photography that we're so well known for, maybe a great quote from it. And from there, you can actually link to the story itself. So, with that being said, our target audience are a subset of readers who wish to understand quickly the gist of a story, but if they want to know more, it's easy for them to understand the bigger picture. So how it would work is that it would be semi-automated by our CMS, pulling in popular pieces of information from our stories. But hopefully in the future, we would like to implement AI to do this for us so it won't have to be so editor-based. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much. I now want La Stempa to come on stage.
Hello, buongiorno. This is Nicolas from Italy. My team is also formed by Davide and Jonathan, who are there. And today we're pitching you Game of News, Answers Every Day. It's a game-based platform to give the possibility to the readers to improve their knowledge about news. If you know Duolingo, the learning language app is quite the same, but for everyday news. We find our problem is that our news are hard to follow. So we're trying to focus our target on young readers that they prefer unconventional media. We studied previous experiments on gamification, and we came up with our solution, a news learning platform based on quiz and short contents. Every day you wake up and you get 3 main news covered by the app. You choose one, and in 5 questions, answering 5 questions, you have the possibility to learn the information and also the background information about the daily news. It's not only a gamification thing. We know that many people tried before. What we are trying to do is change the paradigm. So the readers became the active actor of the process by doing the answers. And for journalists, it's a great opportunity to know what the readers know and don't know. So to write better articles in the next days. We have obviously a prototype, so I'm gonna jump to it. This is the main page with the 3 main topics of the day. We're gonna choose, for example, Brexit. The first page is just a recap of the news of the day, very short. Then you can click continue, and then you get the first question. If you do it right, it's okay. If you do it wrong, it says wrong. And you can continue, and and the app gives you a short brief of background information. Then you can continue. And then you have another question, and if you get wrong, you get the background information with a little graphics. Then you can continue. The question could be more funny, so this is the easy one. Okay, correct. And you go on. This easy one also. And then maybe you can have also, it's a background information, and you can have also other funny or in topics. For example, could England still play in the European Championship? Yes or no? Yes, I'll tell you. So that's it, and then you get the results. We made 2 errors, so the app is not happy about us. The front end is quite simple, it's quite lean. The backend is also easier to understand because it's fully automated, needs just one developer and one designer for the icons, and then all the journalists in the team, also in a small newsroom, could use it. It's based on a Google spreadsheet and fetch the information from the Google spreadsheet. It could be used also by other newsroom in a collaborative way. We want to create Game of News. We are defining a roadmap. We want to go public and add some feature. For example, like Duolingo, the crowdsourced features. It's very important for us. And also it's very important for us to give this resource to other newsroom and to collaborate. So maybe next year in Lisbon, we can meet and launch our version, collaborative version of Game of News. So let's keep in touch. This is it. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I see that the collaborative version will be ready just in time for the next Gen Summit. Now, last but not least, we have the team from the BBC.
Great. Hi, everyone. We're the team from the BBC's visual and data journalism team. I'm Nassos, this is Joy, and this is Alvin. The prototype that we developed for this hackathon is called Appy Helper. So, as mentioned by Evangeline, the problem is that people sort of coming new to really complex stories find it hard to interact with them, as well as the people who sort of may have missed a few days of catching up with the news may really struggle to come back to a news story given how much content is actually published. We've identified that the problem isn't a lack of good explainer content online. It's often really hard to find that content once you've landed in a news story. You sort of don't want to be going back into another hyperlink. It's sort of really frustrating UX. And the second problem we've identified is that everyone, regardless of their level of knowledge, gets exactly the same content. So this is what we've tried to tackle. So we split the target audience into two: newsreaders who've lost track of recent updates to a long-running story, or actually disengaged readers who put off by the complexity of the story. So what our proposal is, it's a conversational interface that sits within a long-running complex story. So it sits within the actual page of that story. We've demoed this on the Trump-Russia inquiry. And what we hope this helps to do is to catch users up with recent developments or give them everything based on two options. So once you click on that, you get two options: catch me up on recent developments, which is option one, which provides recent updates in sort of short chunks. The way we've sort of managed to build it in only the sort of 2 days that we've had is to add information from each from the latest article sort of in chunks. So when you click, when you tap, give me a little more info, it gives you sort of a little bit more from the recent article. Longer term, we would want to do that with using the BBC sort of article API, which gives you summary article, which gives you the summary to each article, which is already populated in there. So we wouldn't be asking journalists to do any more work. It's already populated in there. And the second option for people who sort of are really not caught up at all, and which is something that we'll show in the prototype now, is a timeline of events. So it gives you a summary right up top about the story, and it gives you right from the beginning the timeline of events. And as you click on what happened next, it gives you a few more little bits and pieces from the story so that you're caught up. You can scroll right down to the latest event. So really quickly how this works before we go into showing you the prototype. This works, this is currently powered from a Google spreadsheet, so journalists can come in and sort of make updates or make changes to the timeline bit and add new images in there as the story develops. So this should be easily updatable by journalists working on the stories and producing this content anyway. So really quickly how this works, you're into the story, you tap to explore the content, it takes you within the same page, you're not leaving the page. Catch me up, you get the two options: catch me up on recent developments, which we haven't sort of built in yet, but we've built in sort of I want to explore the full story. So you click on that, it gives you a little bit of the timeline. It gives you the first 2 bits. When you finish, sort of you click on what happened next, it gives you 2 more, and sort of you read on and 2 more. We believe sort of in chunks is a little more conversational, a little easier to get your head round rather than giving everyone a full list straight away, but we could change that based on user feedback. If people want the whole thing straight away and don't want to sort of click through, that'll be fine. If you click to take me to the latest event, it scrolls you right down to the latest event, which happened in 16th of September, 16th of June, sorry. And you can go right back to the story if you're all caught up. So yeah, really, really quickly, roadmap. We want, in the short term, to leverage the article API to populate the update section using the article summaries that journalists are already writing. Medium term, we want to try and add a little more personalization to it rather than just a catch me up on full summary, sort of to differentiate between that. And much longer term, hook it up to a natural language processor to have a little more conversational but not just the interface being itself conversational, so that users can ask actually questions of this app. Here's the link to it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. So we got 2 links. So we've got the first one you can see here is the like mobile-friendly prototype. So please have a play. Use it. Well, prefer using your phone because we built it in a kind of mobile-first way. We also released it as an app, so you can see in the second link. So yeah. So you could, if you for only Android users, so you can install it on your phone, have a play. Yeah, that was us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. So now that we've discovered these 3 amazing prototypes, we're going to have to announce which team we picked as a winner. We're going to start with the 3rd place. So I will let Mandy announce it.
Hello? Okay, good. It's working. I won't lie, this was an extremely tough competition. I think we all argued a little bit. We're a little bit worse for wear. The 3rd place team in this competition is La Stampa with Game of News. The judges really commended this particular prototype for one thing, for its creative approach to the problem. It's really, really nice and clean UI, and really just a fun interface that we said maybe doesn't necessarily work for every newsroom, but especially when you think about single topic sites, you think about millennial sites, there's a lot of different uses for this in an educational and a news purpose. So the judges definitely commended this team.
Okay, we're going to move to the 2nd place finisher. Do we have our slide? Okay. Again, we were dazzled by the quality we saw yesterday from all of these very sleep-deprived people, and what they did in a day and a half is really extraordinary. But in 2nd place, we have National Geographic. In the United States, people of a certain age grew up with National Geographic in their houses as a magazine, the one magazine no one ever threw away. There are garagefuls of these things, and it was a beautifully designed, informative and wonderful piece. Hang on. And in their app, what we thought was quite nice, it had the style that you expect from National Geographic, a certain elegance that the magazine was always known for, and we loved the way the news would expand out and the background would show up. This was an elegant piece of work, and we can't wait to see where it goes from here. Thank you.
Yeah, so the winner of the Editors Lab Hackathon is the BBC. So just a couple of things before Mara adds something. It's very rare that we get a near unanimous winner for a hackathon, of this quality and this caliber over 2 days. I think all of us were unanimous that it was actually something you could implement in a newsroom tomorrow. Very, very simple, clean UX. And in fact, when you're looking at it, we felt like this could have already been done by several newsrooms already, right? So well done on that.
Yes, we really liked the fact that you don't have to go anywhere else to do it. Many of the prototypes that we saw proposed very interesting solutions, but that involved like a microsite, involved opening up a chat box, chatbot somewhere. So your solution was great because I read the article, I'm the reader, I'm already there, you're already interacting with me, and also, the timeline solution was very clean, simple, great design. We really loved that solution, and we're looking forward to the Catch Me Up solution, which is something that you didn't have time to develop, but the implementation of your prototype was great, so congratulations on that.
I guess you managed to solve the problems that many of the participating team identified, the fact that we don't have the same knowledge about the story. Some of us know everything about the story. And when they read the context inside the article, it's boring for them. Some of them don't know anything about the story and there's not enough context. And you managed to solve this issue, so congratulations. We hope to see this solution live very soon. Thanks so much, everyone. And thanks to our jury, of course.